Wednesdays at Reacts, and today we got top 20 cartoon fan theories that will ruin your childhood. Now, as a kid, I loved cartoons. I'm talking I was born in the year 2000, so like, I don't know if you want to. Y'all keep saying the 90s babies don't relate to the 20,000 babies, but literally it was the same era, kind of. Like, we all watched SpongeBob, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, Fairy Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and then we had the Cartoon Networks. We had the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy and Johnny Bravo, but I think that was before my time, but still, I watched it. I even watched the Powerpuff Girls, and then when I watched Disney, I liked... Disney had a bunch, but Disney was more of a live-action cartoon stuff, so like, you know, they had Hannah Montana and the fucking Jonas Brothers and all them and stuff, but I still watched it, and then I grew up and I started watching, everybody watched SpongeBob. If you ain't watch SpongeBob, you ain't have a childhood. But hopefully none of these ruined mine that bad. But I'm not gonna hold y'all long to the video. I'm not gonna hold y'all no longer. Y'all know I like to keep my intros simple and short. So we're gonna get right to the video. Let's get it. Oh, I forgot to record.
Time to get conspiratorial.
Okay.
Welcome to Watch.
Oh, Tom and Jerry. That's way before my time, but I love that show.
For the top 20 cartoon fan theories. For this list, we're looking at fan theories
Charlie
surrounding
Brown.
our favorite innocent cartoon shows or
And I
animated
watched some of
films,
Charlie
no matter
Brown,
how much
like
weight they
the
have.
cartoon,
Warning,
Christmas
this
and
video
Thanksgiving
may
and
or
the
may
Great Big
not
Pumpkin.
ruin your childhood.
Hopefully it's not
Number
mine.
20, economic depression. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
He wanted to scare us off so he could pick up the land cheap. And I'd have done it too, if you kids hadn't come along.
Perhaps it wasn't just the monsters that Mystery Incorporated had to be afraid of. According to one theory, the original Scooby-Doo series was actually set during a time when the economy had gone bust. Things
Great
were
Depression?
so dire that even well-known individuals like celebrities, intellectuals, and so forth became criminals to survive the desperate financial climate, all while dressing up as creatures so that the blame would not be put on them.
Does this seaweed help remind you of that picture on Widow Cutler's wall?
I wouldn't have never put that together.
Captain Cutler!
I never even thought of that. I just thought they were just guys that wanted to do some
areas on that show.
crazy
Sign
stuff,
of the times.
scare people.
Well, the tracks clearly lead into that old mill.
I heard another theory that something that Shaggy
Number
like
19,
smokes all the
Claw
time. I
is
don't know.
Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
I never watched Inspector Gadget. I've seen the movie, I think. There was a movie, but
This fan theory is a
I
shot to the
don't
heart
think
of
I've ever
this
seen
lighthearted
this
cartoon
cartoon.
about everyone's favorite robotic detective. The theory in question states that Dr. Claw is actually the real, or at least the original Inspector Gadget,
The cat?
who supposedly died via an explosion. His genius niece Penny then created a robotic replica out of grief.
It's time to throw in the smut.
This would explain why Gadget pretty much always escapes from the villain's clutches unscathed.
These robots are
because he's a robot.
He wouldn't want to actually harm his own niece and only wants to destroy his mechanical replacement. It also explains why we never actually see Dr. Claw's face.
My plan was foolproof.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Inspector Gadget shows.
Number 9. Bill Dauterive is Bobby Hill's father.
What?
King of the Hill.
I used to watch King of the Hill.
Do you take Luann
I can see it,
your
though.
lawful wedded wife to have and to hold, to love and to
I can
cherish
see
till
it.
death
I can
do
see
you
that.
part?
Him being his dad.
That sounds like a yes to me.
Because they have no
It's safe
resemblance
that
at
not
all.
children turn out
He has
like
a
their
long-ass
parents,
rectangle
whether it's in
head.
appearance
He got
or
the round head just
personality.
like,
But when it comes to
what's his
Hank
name?
and Bobby,
Dale?
the difference is like night and day.
I forgot his name.
Along with how
Him.
similar they are,
His head
fans of the
shaped the
show
same.
have pointed out that there are hints that Bill might actually
Bill.
be Bobby's biological father.
My dad didn't buy me a car when I turned 16. He sold me one, and it was a lemon. Taught me the value of $1.
My dad never sold me anything.
You've got the
How does that
physical
gotta do with
likeness and
anything?
the fact that the two spend so much time together bonding. Not to mention the little fact that Hank has a rather narrow urethra, which the Hills were originally told meant that they could never have children. Damn,
Oh,
Hank,
I was like,
maybe the
what the
king,
heck?
But from the sounds of it, someone
So
got
Peggy
with
was
your
cheating?
Lab reports confirm it. Although, I suspected as much when it took you 30 minutes to produce a urine sample.
Hey, you want it done quick or you want it done right?
Hank, please calm down. Number 17.
The
The
Flintstones
Flintstones
live
live in the future. The Flintstones.
Oh, they're cavemen.
It would be if you'd stop joking me.
If you thought Bedrock's favorite family was kicking it back in the Stone Age, then this theory will make you think again.
That's
Evidence
literally
for
what they're
this
in.
one comes from the 1978 TV movie The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, where a malfunction with a time machine leads two of animation's most beloved families to share the screen.
I think Daddy's got a new favorite
Okay,
now,
the time
Mom.
machine put him back in time.
How does this support the theory? Well, the time machine was created by Elroy Jetson to bring his family to the future. That is, further in time than the future in which they already live. But what if the machine actually worked?
They're out of the past, all right. Some kind of crazy flying nuts.
We know the Jetsons
She shut me the fuck up. Because I didn't think of that. I'm thinking the time machine didn't work and it went backwards, but
live in the
It probably
sky,
did work.
and perhaps they're
And
doing that to
then-
avoid the nuclear wasteland
yeah.
below that's been brewing into another Stone Age.
Maybe we've gone so far into the future, the time has started all over again.
I wonder if they know any other words.
That means the Flintstones is actually set in a post-apocalyptic future instead of thousands of years in the past. Number 16,
I don't like that
Nazi
one.
propaganda.
I don't
The
like
Tom
that.
and Jerry franchise.
Nazi propaganda there.
You know the drill. Tom Cat tries his best to take out his mousy nemesis Jerry with all manner of nefarious and ill-conceived ideas. But were you aware that these two are the physical representation of countries? That's
Nope.
right. Someone out there posted a theory that states Tom and Jerry represent the Tommies and Jerrys, also known as the British and the Germans, during the early years
did not
of
know
World
that.
War II.
I never knew that's what they went by. It's crazy.
So if you put that into context, we've been watching Nazi Germany outdo the Brits with their superior intelligence all these years.
So is Jerry the Nazis and Tom's are the Britons?
Number 15, Peach Creek is purgatory. Ed, and
Everybody
Eddie.
there's
Try
dead?
to contain yourself, Eddie. The adrenaline of irreverence can be quite overwhelming.
Did you ever wonder why we never saw Ed, and Eddie's parents and why they were perpetually stuck in the
Actually,
cul-de-sac?
I actually did used to think that, like, where are their parents? Like, they get to do, this nigga always wanted that jawbreaker and got to do whatever he wanted to get it. Or do it. What did, like, I don't know.
This theory
I
says
don't know
it's
what I'm trying
because
to say.
they're all stuck in purgatory.
I was asked to mend the curtains by Mother. Every child should start their day by completing the task set upon them by their parents.
No, we're not kidding. Each character apparently died as a child at different points in time, and now remains confined to their suburban afterlife. For example,
Dang.
Rolf spends most of his time with farm animals because he died in 1903.
Why do I condone such
That's a crazy theory.
Eddie is so obsessed with money and wealth because he died during the Great Depression, and Ed loves comic books so much because he died right as their popularity soared, near the end of the Second World War.
There is
Really?
no
I didn't know that.
exit.
Honestly,
Number 14,
actually I have.
Post-
Y'all remember back in, like, elementary, I used to get those, I don't know if, like, girls did it, but guys that relate would go get those comic books and we would just read them in the library. They're like, it's got the hard book cover, I don't know. I used to do that with my friends.
Traumatic stress disorder. The Donald Duck
PTSD.
franchise. It's no secret that Donald doesn't exactly have the best temperament, and that he goes on the odd rant every now and again.
That boy were on that cartoon cursing spree.
While most
That
of us just find it
flap,
funny and
flap,
associate it with
flap,
his character, some have claimed that his escalating rage is a result of his PTSD.
He was in the
How
war?
did he get such a thing? Well, as a Second World War paratrooper, poor old Donald was used for plenty of military propaganda back in the day, with one cartoon showing him fighting against the Japanese by himself. That's bound to drive anyone over the edge.
I mean, I guess, because I know they did used to use Donald Duck as propaganda during the World Wars and stuff, but I wouldn't say he had PTSD. It's a cartoon. But it's a theory, it's a
Brown
theory.
is dying of
I'm
cancer.
overthinking it.
The Peanuts
It's
franchise.
a theory. It's a cartoon.
You thought Charlie
Dying
Brown
of cancer,
was just
though?
unlucky
Damn.
kid who happened to
That's
have a
what's
receding
up.
hairline? Actually, according to this theory, he's got terminal cancer.
Would you like to buy
They're
a
so
nice
mean to
Christmas
him.
tree?
Look at that. He's dying of cancer, and they're so mean. to
Merry
that kid.
Christmas anyway, sir. God bless us.
And he still has a
Not
good heart.
horrifically dark enough
That
for you?
bitch.
The reason he always seems so down and life doesn't seem
I remember the
to
episode on Family Guy whenever she wouldn't let him kick the ball, so Peter would beat the shit out of her. Yeah,
break
that's-
is
it
that
was
his
just-
adventures and
was
entire
funny.
life are all an illusion. In other words, nothing but a dream created out of sadness for his brief existence.
Just can't seem to do anything.
Aw,
Each
Charlie
of his
Brown.
failures is just his own misery manifesting itself. Try to watch any Charlie special now without feeling hollow inside.
I think I need help. Everything I do turns to failure.
Number 12.
Samurai
Shared universe.
Jack.
Samurai Jack.
Actually, I did hear this one. If she's gonna say that they share the universe with the Powerpuff Girls, I've actually seen this one before.
Crossovers are nothing new.
Because
And
he
if
looks
fans
like the
can
dude
get
that
a whiff
created
some
the
of their
Powerpuff
favorite
Girls.
cartoons are entangled in
Him,
some
Samurai
subtle
Jack.
or overt way.
But I don't
you
know.
can be sure they will find evidence of it. Given the history of Cartoon Network's properties making random cameos between shows, it's no surprise people latched onto this particular theory, which is that apparently everyone's favorite time-traveling samurai was roaming around the post-apocalyptic but past version of Townsville this whole time. Given
That's
the
the Powerpuff
identical
Girls, right?
landmarks seen throughout
Townsville?
some
Is that where they
episodes,
lived?
the idea certainly has some merit. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
there are others who insist that Jack and Professor Utonium are the same
That's what I
person.
heard. That's what I
Aw,
heard.
man, time travel makes our heads spin.
Hush now. You just let your Professor Wessie take care of this.
That's it.
Number 11. Wally doomed the Earth.
I heard that
Wally.
theory actually.
Wally's a lovesick robot that travels the stars to be with the one he loves, and has a voice that just makes you want to pinch his metallic cheeks.
I never wanted to do that. Don't know what she's talking about.
Well,
That shit sounds
what's cool
annoying.
about him is that this little guy actually doomed the planet.
Just put all the
Did
debris
you
in
wonder why the
space.
planet was covered in garbage at the beginning of the Pixar flick? That's because, according to this theory, Wally destroyed all of the other robots, took what he needed from their bodies to fix himself up, kept certain items of trash to decorate his home instead of compacting them, and left the robo corpses of his fellow brethren scattered across the wasteland that was once Earth. Thanks, Wally. Number 10. Mr. Crocker's ulterior motives. The Fairly Odd Parents.
That man crazy. He used to get on my nerves. Like, bro, leave the man alone.
Can we please let people go to sleep now?
Some fans theorize that Cosmo and Wanda could actually be metaphors
Food's
for
here, but
antidepressants.
I'm just
Well,
gonna finish
this
the
theory
video
takes
out,
things
I
a
think.
step
How long is
further
that?
by stating that they
Oh,
are
hell.
delusions of Timmy Turner's
I might
actual
go get that
deceased
movie
godparents.
Do you feel
Says
Timmy
it's
learned
here.
a huge life lesson without us?
Say order complete.
matter if we didn't exist.
He imagines them watching over him and granting his wishes, all in a bid to keep himself happy. Since his real parents don't care about him, he has one heck of a
Yeah, I didn't like
ball-child
Ricky
babysitter,
either.
and Mr. Crocker's scheme to capture his fairy godparents is in
that
reality
his daddy
just
used to
him
get so
making
mad at
sexual
Dinkelberg?
advances on Timmy. Yeesh.
I already paid $400 to rent this ice cream truck in this stupid costume.
Number 9. Winnie and
I
Friends.
actually, yeah, I heard this one too.
The Winnie the Pooh franchise.
Yeah, I heard this one.
The classic tales of Pooh Bear and his friends are beloved
He got, like,
by
an eating
children and
disorder,
adults everywhere.
I think.
This makes things especially lovely.
That one
considering
that's
this
always
theory
down got, like,
includes each
depression.
of those
He got,
characters
like,
each been diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder. We are not joking.
One of them got
But like
OCD.
this, Pooh is
Another one got,
impulsive
like,
with
that
obsessive
stuff where you hyper all the
fixations.
time. I forgot what it's called.
8 and 8.
Piglet has general anxiety.
Anxiety.
Do the bees know the plan?
Tigger has ADHD.
Yeah, ADHD. That's what it's
That's what
called.
Tiggers do best.
Owl is dyslexic.
Oh.
Rat has OCD.
OCD. Isn't that when you gotta keep things, like, clean?
And not surprisingly, Eeyore is a major depressive.
Yeah, we know that. I knew
We
that.
could have seen the Eeyore one coming, but does this maybe mean Christopher Robin is their therapist? Number 8. Pinky is the genius.
Pinky in the Brain.
Just
I
one
watched.
question.
I don't really remember watching this show.
Where are we going to get all those harmonicas?
How can one of cartoon's most lovable idiots possibly be smarter than the
Yeah, I think my food's here. I'm gonna go get it really quick.
dreams of taking over the...
Alright, guys, we are back. I had to go get my food. You know what I'm saying? My mom was like, "I think your food's here," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's here." But I'm in the middle of recording. But I was like, "Fuck it."
The world? Well, what if the brain is so loco in the head that all his thoughts of...
Alright, no, we gotta get the chicken sandwich from Popeyes. I was kind of craving it.
That nation shall be
Some
called
fries. I don't even want the fries.
Brainania.
Endeavors could be nothing more than delusions in his oversized...
I had to get the spicy
But
sandwich
even
though.
if they aren't, you only need to look a little more closely.
I'm not gonna eat right now because I know some of y'all probably hungry and watching this video. I really don't care either at the same time.
Sense compared to the brain's ramblings. One is a genius.
I gotta put honey mustard on my sauce on my thing too.
I have obtained this rare prototype dilithium maker.
Yummy! That go with onion dip?
Did
Got me some Hawaiian punch. I don't drink that soda.
be the perfect accompaniment.
Number 7, the Pokemon War. Pokemon.
Pokemon. My older brother loved
Pikachu,
Pokemon.
Thundershock!
He had the cards, he had the games, the DS games. He loved it.
For an anime about fighting pocket monsters,
I tried to
there
get
doesn't
into
really
it.
seem to be any horrifically
couldn't.
mature content in Pokemon.
I'm not an anime
at least
guy.
as far as the original season is concerned.
Honey mustard,
Or
we keep
is
it on
there?
deck, you know what I'm
According
saying?
to this theory, the amount of gym leaders and organized crime, plus the fact that Ash and Gary are both missing parents, is because they are the generation born after a terrible war fought with Pokemon.
What? That's kind of crazy.
I'll send you home crying.
While this creepypasta may seem more concrete with the video games, it does raise some interesting points. Where is Ash's dad anyway?
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of all these people. Don't you know I'm a big kid now?
Number 6. Timmy's on antidepressants. The Fairly Odd Parents.
I don't see a smiling face. There it is.
No, we're not done with Fairly Odd Parents just yet. While you may have thought that Timmy Turner was a lucky little boy with fairy godparents,
That's what I thought. I was like, damn, I want some fairy godparents.
Go for a ride.
this theory proposes what you were actually seeing was a metaphor for Timmy taking antidepressants to ensure
I
he...
said, I ain't want these fries and I'm slow
Now,
eating
does
them.
this make sense? Well, this theory states that this scenario is possible because the godparents only appear when Timmy's life starts to take a tumble, but they aren't around when he doesn't need them.
Little freedom fighter, we'll get you out of here.
On top of this, too much
So it's saying
use
he's
of their
on-
magic is shown to have disastrous results on Timmy personally.
Yeah, that's true. I always notice that every time he wishes for something, it always ends up bad at
Number
the end of
5,
the show.
Comatose Ash, the Pokemon franchise.
He's in a
And
coma?
I hereby declare to the Pokemon of the world,
Pokemon still goes on?
Pokemon Master.
A lot of entries
I
on
know they
this
had that
list
movie,
involve
but I
the
ain't watched it.
fantastical elements of their respective shows being nothing more than figments of the imagination.
Pokemon, go! I did it!
Well, this one deals with an entire world being made up in the mind of a comatose Ash Ketchum.
You really saved us, Ash. No way. We did it together.
One theorist makes the point
Actually-
that the tone of Pokemon became much lighter after Ash was struck by lightning
I remember
in an
people
earlier
kill them-
episode.
kill
Ever
other
since
people
then,
for a damn
Team
Popeye
Rocket
salmon,
became
bro.
much less menacing.
This shit
and
not-
the
that
10-year-old
shit not worth
can
dying
somehow
over.
traverse freely in the world without consequence. The fact
good,
that there
though.
are multiple Nurse Joys
not worth
and
dying
Officer
over.
Jennies, plus countless other examples, seems to support the idea that his dream to become a Pokemon master may actually just be a dream after all.
So, I didn't listen to the video. Oh,
Number 4, the 7
oh I
Deadly
heard that one
Sins.
too.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
You know, do some
He's like
Detective work.
Reed.
I'm going undercover.
Who would have guessed that Bikini Bottom's most iconic residence would actually represent something as dark as
Some of
the
them is
7
lust.
sins? It's not all that crazy.
It's like
when you think
greed,
about it.
lust, envy.
SpongeBob has a lust for life, while Pearl is obsessed with males. Mr. Krabs is the greediest thing under the sea. Sandy takes great pride in her work. Patrick bests everyone when it comes to sloth. Both Gary and Mrs. Puff
Sloth.
have been shown to be quite gluttonous. Plankton is obviously envious of the Krusty Krab's success.
Gluttony, envy.
And Squidward, well, we all know how wrathful SpongeBob makes him. Turns out this show attracts weird theories, since there's another one that suggests these 7 represent narcotics.
All right, pal. Make with her a
Drugs?
big foot massage. Pronto.
Uh-oh. Sorry, your hour's up.
Number 3, all in Angelica's imagination. Rugrats.
I'm just gonna say it,
Wait,
Drew.
the babies?
She's the most beautiful little girl I've ever seen.
No question about it, little brother.
Speaking of dreams, in this fan theory, it turns out all those adorable babies on Rugrats were nothing more than projections of a 3-year-old psychological breakdown.
Hey, she was wild
We all
though.
thought Angelica was just moody because of her age and spoiled upbringing. But here it's said that her attitude is actually due to the traumatic events of the Rugrats' deaths.
Oh,
Yeah, when it
fuck.
happens to you
That's kinda
guys,
messed
maybe
up.
that's what you should do. Happens to us.
Yep. Apparently, Chucky died with his mother in a crash, which is why his father is always overly worried about him. And Tommy was stillborn, which is why
Oh.
Uncle Stu is constantly making toys, i.e. for the son he never had.
Could be.
As for the DeVille twins, they were just a projection of an aborted baby. So
Oh.
Angelica projected them as identical twins since the gender remained unknown.
Oh,
Number 2, there are
damn.
no monsters. Courage the Cowardly
I used to
Dog.
love this show. That was the creepiest episode ever, I swear to God.
Despite his timid nature in the face of the supernatural horrors going on in the middle of nowhere, Courage never fails to protect his owners from the many monsters and psychopaths that seem to come their way. This would all be fine and dandy, except what if they're not all as scary as he thinks they are?
I don't get it.
looks a lot different to him. The entire show could be nothing more than Courage's canine perception tricking him into thinking he and his humans are in danger, when the truth is, all those monsters he thinks he's seeing are just people.
Huh.
To be honest, we're not sure if that's uplifting or even more depressing.
It's kind of sad if you're a dog, I guess.
For hours, but I can get Shen real quick, like.
I prefer not to think that. I think he was trying to
Before we
protect his family.
continue, be sure to subscribe to our
Say
channel.
no free
and ring the
promotion.
bell to get notified,
Promote.
as is
Come
definitely
on now.
Number 1, Allegory for the Holocaust, Toy Story 3.
What?
Oh, you want your mommy back? She never loved
I've seen this
you.
movie too. I didn't see the fourth one though.
Baby.
Well, I think I did. First one with the spoon, right? I think I did see
The Toy Story
it.
franchise is definitely the darkest. However, we bet that you wouldn't have guessed that the Oscar-winning computer animated movie also seems to have some unsettling parallels to the Holocaust.
Yeah, I know. It looks bad, but guys, you gotta believe me.
First off, the toys are forced to leave their home and then find themselves at
'Cause he's
Sunnyside
moving.
daycare, where they're
College.
imprisoned and routinely mistreated and injured.
My tail! Where's my
Damn.
tail?
That's kind of deep though.
Near the film's climax, there's a scene that looks like they're all about to perish in an incinerator together.
Oh. Like they would do to the people, you know, the
If you replace
Jews,
a
when they
few
would
of those
burn them in those
characters'
chambers and
locations with
stuff.
some of the victims and perpetrators of World War II, there's definitely a disturbing similarity. Do you agree?
I never
with
put
our
that
picks?
together.
Check out this other recent clip from.
That's that video. That video, it didn't really ruin my childhood. It kind of opened my eyes. I was like, damn, I never thought of that. But that was the top 20 cartoon fan theories that would ruin your childhood. Hopefully, it didn't ruin your childhood. It didn't really ruin mine. It had me thinking though, for sure. But make sure y'all give this video a big old thumbs up. Subscribe, because that's gonna help build this channel. We're gonna be doing some things. I'm telling you. Comment down below what fan theory you were most surprised about, and share the video. I'm gonna say until this video starts, until we get to 50,000. I mean 50, then we get to 100, then we're gonna go 150, then 200. We're gonna go by 50s. You know what I'm saying? So until we get to 50, I'm gonna keep saying, share this video with your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your brother, your sister, your dog, your cat, your monkey. If you got a pet monkey, you know, man, just share the video. But other than that, that's all I got for you. I'm gonna enjoy this food. Until next time, deuces.